Hello, 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 everybody. This is Dr. Missy Johnson, and I'm here with the Fearless Women Rock. I gotta turn this computer down over here. Just a second. All right, there we go. And I have our Fearless Women Rock Volume 4 here with us, and I'm just so excited to have all of my authors here for this wonderful volume that we have done. It has definitely been a journey. Um, you see me here. I'm just trying to put a little note up here so everybody can see what is going on. Okay, there we go. That's where I want it to be. Edit audience. Okay. Just a second. I'm going to put a little note in here. Like it? No. Love it? And let me put a little note in here so y'all can see this. There we are. Yes, I do have two computers up. Well, welcome. Let the party begin. I'm just so excited to have here my authors here. I'm going to share it to Lisa's page. Let's see. So Lisa can have it on her page. Yes. Okay. There we go. Alrighty. Well, this has truly been a journey. Can you believe that I'm like 4 books in, going on number 5 book? It has definitely been a lessons learned. Every volume, I'm always learning something, and I'll tell you, I am always a student at heart. Let me just say that. I'm always a student at heart, and I'm always willing to learn. I'm always willing to do something different. And I'm just so excited just to invite you all to come in to this 1 hour special. You're talking about this is a gift of giving. This is a gift of giving, and we're giving these women, these beautiful authors, Fearless Women Rock special edition, the opportunity to give their experience of what they have encountered during this volume 4 experience. It has truly been amazing. We are really a sisterhood, and you know, next year 2023 is going to even be much more bigger. But in the middle of me writing movies and writing books and everything, it's just been definitely a blessed lessons learned. Let me just tell you that these are courageous women that found strength during the storm. But it doesn't mean that we still don't have a storm. It means that we found strength during this one storm that we are going to forever cherish in our heart. And it helps to make us bigger, better, stronger, fearless, and courageous. So without further ado, we have 6 wonderful ladies, including myself. And the first person that we have up is Miss Lisa Thomas. And Lisa, she's going to tell you a little bit about herself. And then she's going to give you an excerpt from her book. And then we're going to have a little questions and answers. Is that okay?
Yes,
Lisa,
yes.
you want to take it away?
Absolutely. Well, good evening, everyone. My name is Lisa Thomas Lewis, and as Dr. Missy has already said, I was just blessed to be a part of Fearless Women Rock Volume 4, and I am just filled tonight. I'm here. I'm very glad to be here to give you some insight on why your numbers will matter in your life. So, Dr. Missy, did you want to start with questions, or you just want me to go forward? You tell me how, you know.
I'm going to do like they say in church, baby, just going forward.
Just go forward. All right. Well, numbers saved my life, you all. Numbers saved my life simply because I was over a multi-million dollar budget for a very large corporation. And here I was, a numbers guru. I love numbers. But guess what? I wasn't able to manage my own financial household, and at the same time, here I was getting all type of accolades at work and being able to save my company, millions of dollars, but I couldn't even save $100 at home. I had to literally get myself together and figure out what is it that has my household falling apart. And a lot of it was the fact that I did not have financial stability. And so I literally did what a lot of us do. We pray and cry out to God, but I asked God to show me. And what he showed me was an actual theory that I actually came up with that I have named the Jack theory. The Jack theory is what I speak about in the book. And basically, the Jack theory will tell you how to, number one, not just have faith, but you got to learn how to stop, reassess, and analyze your situation. And so for me, I was able to come up with the Jack theory and present it as to myself because number one, it was given to me by God, but I was able to put the Jack theory into use into my own household. I was able to bring us out of the red, as they say. And when you're dealing with numbers, when you be in the red, you be bleeding. And I was able to bring my family back where when I started even, because I was unemployed for a while too, before I had taken on the job that I have now, which yes, I've been blessed where I do make over six figures. But let me tell you, there was a time when I was totally torn apart. And as a numbers guru, those of us that are in the accounting and finance world, we know that one thing we always do, we like to get things done all the way down to the penny. But for myself, I had to basically put all what I was given to master on my job. I had to implement it in my household. And I also had to, once again, I had to stop. I had to reassess and I had to analyze the situation as to what was really going on within myself where I could not produce numbers financially at home. And because number one, I had my faith there, I was able to pull it all together. And let me tell you, the Jack's theory, if you get our book, you'll be able to read about how I utilized my faith, my family, and my finance, and how I was able to pull it all together.
That's
Back to
amazing,
you.
Lisa. And what I want to say is that, we got a little Wi-Fi issues going on, but we heard
Yes.
everything that you said. And I want people to understand to not be distracted because in life, things happen. You got Wi-Fi issues, you got personal issues, you got money issues. We got all kind of issues. Okay. Issues. But what I want you to take away that what Lisa said is that she used a theory, a formula that God gave her. She is working in a multi-million dollar company and people are coming to her to solve their money problems, keep their money straight, but she couldn't keep her money straight at home. But what she did is that she built this, God gave her this theory, this formula where it had to save her family's life. Because her family, from what I'm listening to you, Lisa, it was crumbling. Is that true?
Crumbling. Totally crumbling. Totally. Yes, ma'am.
And she said
Yes.
crumbling, but I don't know if y'all caught it. She said crumbling with six figures. How many people do y'all know that will admit that they sometimes have situations, financial situations that's crumbling with six figures? So Lisa, I just want to salute you for that because not many people will come out and say that it was crumbling with six figures. But the courage that you found, the God given formula that you found, is that He gave you this theory, and y'all got to find out about the theory. How she, I don't know if y'all caught the three parts theory, what she said. I'm not going to say it. And if y'all should have been listening, taking notes, and y'all get what she said, but God gave her this theory that will impact you to so you can not crumble in your finances, so you can have a stronger family, a stronger faith, and stronger finance. Lisa, is that correct?
Yes. It's all about one's faith, their family, and finances, being able to bring your family together. And a lot of times, your numbers, making sure you know your numbers is It impacts your family, believe it or not. So
Wow.
get the book,
Wow.
get the book, and
Wow.
learn about the Jack theory.
So title your chapter. Tell them to title your chapter, how they can get your book, and where they can find you.
Yes. Matter of fact, if it's okay, Dr. Missy, I would like to read just a small excerpt from my chapter.
Yeah, we forgot that part.
Yes. So my chapter is entitled, Are You Aware of Your Numbers? Okay. And so let's see. I'm going to talk about the finance, a piece of the finance part of the chapter. It says, my level of faith and what God was doing in my life were not in alignment. I could not see nor understand while in the midst of a traumatic life event what God was doing. Although I knew my numbers, I had not figured out the Jack's theory formula yet. I was married, but we were struggling. I knew I had to keep a roof over my head and take care of my family. I needed some income bad. See, it's one thing to know the numbers in an equation, but having the correct formula makes the difference between getting to the result. Although I knew the numbers required for me to do my job on a daily basis, I had to strategically stop, reassess, and analyze my current situation of being unemployed and still having bills to be paid, especially with the mortgage that was almost $2,000 a month. But here it is. Here's the kicker. To make life more complicated, my degree was in finance, but I was struggling at home. I would eventually get a short-term contract job and as a financial strategist with a major corporation. I was responsible for well over $10 million in revenue accounts. It was ironic. How could I manage the books of a major corporation, but not the financial health of
And we're
my
gonna
house?
stop right there. And we're gonna stop right there. How can you do what? Manage what?
The health of my household and manage the health of a corporation, but not the health of my household because it was crumbling. And I mean, it was crumbling.
Wow. Wow. But is it crumbling now?
Oh, no,
Because you got
no,
the what theory?
I got the Jack theory.
Okay. We're gonna leave it right there. Y'all have to find out what the Jack theory is. You got to get the book, Lisa's book. So tell them how they can get the book and tell them where you can find them, where they can
Well,
find you.
Well, they can find me at lisathomaslewis.com. They can get a copy of the book there or also on Amazon. But if you go to lisathomaslewis.com, I will send you a personal autograph copy of our book, Fearless Women Rock Volume 4, Courage Through the Storm. So I would love to autograph you a copy. So go to lisathomaslewis.com and I'll make it happen for you.
Awesome.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Awesome. Thank you, Lisa. Let me take Lisa out of here. We're going to bring on our other author. And I just want to just commend Lisa again because there's not many people that would tell you that they manage a multi-million-dollar company and she's a sought after financial guru, but then her house is crumbling. But it's not crumbling anymore because she has a formula that God gave to her so she can help you to build your financial structure, help you to get your faith and family and finances together so you won't have the same situation. Well, thank you so much, Lisa. You're going to see her in the end. The next person that we have coming up is Miss Nikita. Can you take yourself off mute? Nikita, she is so powerful. We all went to DC together and we truly had an experience there. And the experience was she had a lot of transformation, a lot of change that was happening while we were on our road to DC. What people don't know, as she's working on getting her computer off of mute, we were driving during the Hurricane Ian. And the part is so crazy. Well, I'm gonna let Nikita tell you about that situation, and then she's gonna give you an excerpt from the book. So Nikita, tell them what happened when we was driving through that storm, the real storm.
Yes, we were all together ready to do the photo shoot for our book cover, Fearless Woman Rock, down in Washington, D.C. And little did we know that we would be attacked by a real storm, and that was Hurricane Ian. So we were driving in the storm, and my sister, who you just saw, Lisa, was driving, and she was tired. And I don't know, those of you that know me know that I do not like driving in bad weather. But I saw my sister was tired, and I told
Yes.
her I would take the wheel. So I took the wheel and I drove us all the way from DC to Virginia
But you
in
said
the
take the
rain and in
wheel.
the storm.
But you say take the wheel. They don't really get take the wheel. But tell them why taking the wheel of life and taking the wheel, why it was transformational. Tell them that part.
Well, we as women, we always think we have to do everything ourselves. We always feel like we have to be strong for everyone else. And I think my sister felt so good when I was able to help her take that wheel because it was really bad. I mean, it was storming, hailing, raining. And I am very, very afraid. But when I got behind that wheel, I just felt calm and confident because I knew we were on a mission and we
Yes.
were on assignment.
Yes.
We were on assignment by God, and everything happens for a reason. So I drove all the way there, and the ladies didn't even know any better. And I didn't tell them that I was, afraid of driving in bad weather until we were already at our location.
Yes. And when we got to that location, when she told us, we was like, what? Because she was saying, Dr. Missy, you was gone. But she was like, she
You
was right.
left me. You left me. So I was just like, oh,
And when we got to the hotel, when I said we had, first of all, we had church,
we
then we
did.
had a Prince party.
That's my favorite artist, as everybody knows.
Yes, we had
Because we
a
were so
Prince
excited
party.
to have made it through the storm. And that's the name of our book.
Yes, yes, yes. But Nikita, tell them a little bit about you, and then tell them, read the excerpt from your book.
Okay, well, my name's Nikita Carnegie Morgan. For those of you who don't know me, I'm a certified coach, business and life coach, as well as I'm the co-owner of Dream Tech Consulting, which is a successful women-run business where we work with kids with disabilities. And I've always wanted to tell my story because I thought the people that I've talked to individually have all said, Nikita, you need to write a book. Nikita, I've heard that millions of times. But I was always fearful of putting myself out there because my story is very in depth. But when Dr. Missy came to me and said, Nikita, it's time, I was like, yes, you're right. It's time. So, in that regards, let me read you a little bit from my story. And this sums it all up. Neither she nor anyone else at school had a clue of the turmoil in my life. This double life would follow me for years to come. I have never been comfortable with giving people a glimpse behind the curtain. There is so much buried shame beneath the well tended garden of my life. People only see what I allow them to see.
Wow. I mean, how relatable is that? I don't want to go deep on this because you got to get the book, but people only allow you only allow people to see what you want them to see.
Exactly.
Nikita's story, she only touched on it, but it's really a story about mental health. Am I right, Nikita?
It is.
And just give people a little bit about the mental health piece so they can understand it, with your mom and dad. Just a snippet. so they can understand it. Because the reason why I say that is because there's so much mental health going on, and really, as quiet as kept, you could have went another way.
Absolutely.
So just go ahead and lay on that a little bit so they'll understand.
Yes. Well, I grew up in a household with just me and my mom and dad. It's just the three of us. I have no siblings. My mom was diagnosed with schizophrenia in her 20s, and my dad had substance abuse issues as well.
Okay, we're
So,
gonna stop right there. Your mama what? I mean, I need to bring this out because there's so much
yeah,
going on. Your
yeah.
mom what?
My mom was diagnosed with schizophrenia, so she went from a vibrant woman to a woman that was scared, fearful most of the time, in her room hearing voices.
And how old were you?
I was roughly around 6, 7,
And what you say about your father?
and my father was addicted to drugs. And so the story is about my forgiving them after all the years of turmoil and situation that we went through. And the name of my chapter is Freedom to Forgive,
Yes.
because that's exactly what you do when you're forgiving somebody. You're free. And as a result of my forgiving my parents, I was able to start a successful business, get married, have a wonderful family, and do all the things that I never in a million years would have thought I would have ever done.
But Nikita, but I want to say this. I know you got the business and everything, but it's it's so powerful what you said. Mental illness. Your
Hmm.
father was on drugs. You 5 years old, and there's so much in that chapter that y'all need to get the book to read. But we talking about courageous women that found strength during the storm. She not only found strength during the storm, but she found the power to forgive.
Yeah.
How many people is walking around here with unforgiveness in their heart because somebody stepped on their shoe?
Right. Right. Absolutely.
How many
Absolutely.
people is walking around because you ain't like their Facebook page?
Absolutely.
How many people is walking around because there's some disagreement in the family, disagreement in the church, or
For
disagreement on your
years.
job, and they forgave you?
Yep.
And,
Church pain and all kind of pain. Yes.
and
Yes.
this is a young lady who's 5 years old, and I'm just going to add this a little bit. She really, I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna leave it alone.
You're going to tell them everything.
No, I'm not telling them because they have to read
They
it.
got to read the book.
But she had to raise herself and still had the power to forgive. And if you want to learn how Nikita found out and embrace and learn how to forgive, what they got to do, Nikita, get to what?
They got to buy the book.
Yes.
They got to buy the book and read that chapter.
Yes.
Yeah,
So,
that chapter, it meant the world to me, Dr. Missy. And I just want to thank you for offering it to me because it was so cathartic. And I feel so free now. I feel even a higher stage of freedom
yes.
after writing my story.
Yes. And I also want to say this too, that I thank you because people think I make my job look cute and easy.
Yeah, because you're cute.
but it's not. And people really don't see the behind the scenes.
Absolutely.
But first of all,
that's how it is with all of us.
Yes. But Nikita was ready, but I had to really, really be there for Nikita. When I say I was on her heels, Nikita was on her anniversary. But this kind of person she is. She was in her anniversary in Greece. Am I right, Nikita?
Yes.
And I'm texting her. I don't know if I was in Mexico, we in different countries.
My final copy was due the week of my anniversary in Greece. I should have been done with this book, you guys. I knew about this book from May.
Yeah.
And I just didn't write it.
Yes.
So when you see me with that blue dress,
there's still some stuff going on.
it was still some stuff. I wasn't quite ready. I wasn't quite, but being in that environment allowed me to, I wrote the whole chapter just in a day.
Yes.
In a day. I wrote it
Yes.
in a day. After 6
Yes.
months.
Yes. 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 So tell them the name of your chapter again. Tell them who you are and tell them how they can find you and tell them to get the book, The Power, no, not The Power to Forgive, but Freedom to Forgive.
Freedom to Forgive is
Yes.
the name of my chapter. Freedom to
Yes.
Forgive.
Yes.
You can get my book at on my website, and it's corevisioncoaching.com. And you'll
Yes.
see it. You'll see my picture, and you'll see buy my book. And you just click that, and you can buy the book right there. corevisioncoaching.com.
Awesome. 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 Nikita's not going anywhere. We're going to bring up our next. Thank you, Nikita. So don't go no place.
Thank you. Mwah, mwah.
Mwah. The next person that we have is Miss Ebony. Ebony, I don't
Hey,
know where she's gonna be at. You know, all my ladies, they bi-coastal. They west. Look, a lot of my authors, they East Coast, West Coast. Look, I'm right with them. They East Coast, West Coast, and you know, Ebony. I'm just so excited about Ebony. You know, Ebony was kind of. I knew it, but they didn't know it. Ebony is really a courageous woman that found strength during her storm. For real, for real. Am I right?
yes,
She was in a freaking storm, life storm, right? Eb?
yes,
She was in a life storm while we were writing the book. But because I don't be talking about nobody business, just let y'all know. They can tell you I don't be talking about nobody business. But what happened is that sometimes when you in a storm, you can't really peg nobody. Like it's what's really going on. I say I understand her, but sometimes when you in a storm, you can't even really express yourself. But one thing about it, Ebony trusted me. She believes me because I got to keep on repeating myself. When I say I got you, I got you. And I had Ebony from the beginning. And I
yes,
know what she was going through. And when I say she was going through the storm, but was still in the storm, in another storm, I just want to commend Ebony for that storm. She was, even though she wrote about something different, but I'm sure that's going to come out later about another book. But the storm that she was in, I never let go of her. And now that personal storm that she was in, all the way to the end, baby is out. And look at that smile. Look at that smile. So Ebony's story is, are you my mother? So I'm
yes,
gonna let Ebony tell you who she are. Well, I'm just gonna say this, and then Ebony can take it over. She works for a very high profile client, which we are not at liberty to speak on. And she's bi-coastal. She's all over the country, all over the world. And I don't know where she's gonna be. But the thing about it, we be connected because I'll be like texting her. I say, I'm here, and I'll be texting her, but
right,
we kept the communication going whenever, even when all the crazy is going on. When I text her, she called me back. When she called me, I call her back. It wasn't no shade. It wasn't none because I don't operate like that. But I just want to say, Ebony, I'm so happy that you are out of that storm. And her story is, are you my mother? So Ebony, just go ahead and talk about it and read your excerpt.
all right. First of all, I want to say thank you, Dr. Missy, for everything that you've done and how supportive you've been over the last, 3 years, I think, maybe more. I think it might be 4 years that you've been a part of my life. Also, I want to share an excerpt from my chapter, Are You My Mother? And it's kind of in the place of where, or it sits in the place where my heart was.
Well,
And still in some places it still is. So here it is. In my brokenness, I have found the strength to fight and allow those thoughts, pieces of my memories and puzzle to settle into place. Do not get me wrong. There are some that were just not a part of this process or the puzzle that had me a bit confused and disrupted. but the full view and the right ones have begun to recall and place themselves in their proper position, as to ultimately be available in every way to create this masterpiece. As I go day to day, maybe I will place or give order to one or more pieces in my life, but I know that it's all still a process, and the beginning is forming into the completed picture and the production that will ultimately become the masterpiece. My pieces are like none other because I am unique, fearfully and wonderfully made. My piece, P-E-A-C-E, and peace, P-I-E-C-E, of my life is critical for that total recall.
Wow. So, I know what the chapter is about, and I understand the verbiage of what you said, but can you just give a snippet of why you titled? Because right now I know that you're at peace. That part I know.
Yeah.
And I also know there's a continuation.
Right.
That part. So can you tell them why you titled that chapter, Are You My Mother?
So, like in the beginning of that segment that I read, it said, "In my brokenness." When I was a child, I was told by a cousin that I was adopted. I I was old enough to understand what adoption was and everything, but those pieces those things that she said formed a very big sever and severely impacted my relationship with my mother and my biological.
I would say which mother?
Now, my biological mother, I still don't know, have not made the connection or anything with her. But my adoptive mother, which is my mother, don't get me wrong, she
Say
is
that
my
again.
mother.
Say that again for
Do
the people
not
that
get me wrong.
Yes.
She is my mother.
Yes.
But it took until I was much older to realize that she was my mother.
And we're going to stop right there, because in the book, she's going to tell you, it's so powerful. In the book, in that chapter, she's going to tell you the realization that impact the statement when she say, "Don't get it twisted. She is my mother." I'm gonna say it for the church people in the back row, in the balcony. Don't get it twisted. Ebony said, "She is my mother." But when you read the chapter, you're gonna find out the impactful situation that, what they say, signed, sealed, and delivered it. It's
Right.
signed, sealed, and delivered it. Am I right, Ebony?
Yes.
That you are my mother, even
Right.
though she's still in the quest for her real biological mother. So
Exactly.
she was, so she's not motherless.
No.
She's not
By far.
motherless. Yes.
By far.
Wow, wow, wow. So Ebony, tell them how they
Yeah.
can contact you, and if they want to get the book, how they can get in contact with you.
If you want to contact me, you can always email me at ELYNET as in Tom, T as in Tom, E76@gmail.com. Or you can go to my Instagram page, which is Daddy's45 on IG. That's pretty much the only way you can get in touch with me right now. Other than that, if you want it, please support us all. All of our stories are very amazing. We're all a great team together, and I appreciate all the ladies that were a part of this.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Missy.
Oh, absolutely. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Let me go to our next person. Hey, Kimmy. Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself.
Hey, girl.
Hey, we're having some Wi-Fi issues today, but you know what? But we still going on, because that's what we do. We are fearless and courageous. And
You're clear. I'm clear. Are you clear?
you're delayed. You have like delay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So she ain't know me. She ain't know nothing about me. It was from a friend, and she She wanted, she had other things that she had to do, but she came because of my character. She became because of my authenticity. She became because she know I'm the truth. And when I say she has a heart of gold, when I say she's a celebrity hairstylist out on the West Coast, the girl don't play with no hair. You know, she can have braids today short. You know, she go a whole bunch of ways. And she is really a phenomenal person at heart. But she had to learn some things. And she had a lot of tragedy. But I'm going to let her tell her about herself. And she's going to read an excerpt from the book, the chapter. So go ahead.
All right. Hello. I am Kimia Hicks, and I am a hairstylist out of the Bay Area, San Francisco, California. I'm also the owner of Inner Beauty, which is the source for all things beautiful. Um, pardon my voice, y'all. I'm a little sick today, but nothing was going to keep me from joining y'all. I've been looking forward to this. This experience has been awesome. I wanted to give you guys just a little bit of background on how I got into this project, just real quick. And basically, I still have my business, but I downsized. I closed my physical, the large salon, um, and I closed it as a sacrifice, so to speak. People wouldn't understand that because they're like, why would you give up something that was so um, successful? Well, I'm still successful and I'm still making my money. I'm still doing my thing, but I downsized in that area so I can come into another area. And I needed to be able to have the bandwidth to focus on these new projects, such as writing. And I didn't know how I was going to get from point A to point B, but like she said, through a person, through a person, through a person. And what's funny is this person called me about getting their hair done. Before it was over, this person ended up being my writing coach, who in turn put me in contact with Dr. Missy. So what was supposed to be a hair appointment ends up being this. This. So this time last year, I handed over the keys to my salon. I closed one door. This year we open another, being officially published, me author. So I'm excited about that. So I wanted to give y'all that background because it's kind of amazing how it happened. But um yes, so yes, I'm a hairstylist. I'm also a certified health coach. I specialize in overcoming things. This, what I spoke on in this book, is just one of many things that I've had to overcome. And this was very paramount, this experience in my life this year. It was very paramount because I took lesson on top of lesson from this period of time that I still apply to my life. So the excerpt from my book that I want to read, let us see. All right, so I'm going to read something that's closer to the end of the book, but I like what it says here. September of 2004, right in the middle of the build out of my salon that would become known as Inner Beauty. My paternal grandmother, the only mother I had ever known, Beatrice Maxwell, passed. She left this world 2 weeks before the opening of my salon. She never got to see it. I was so hurt, wishing the last 10 months of my life had never happened, but knowing they had to. They were the makings of me, a fearless, strong, and resilient woman who would face whatever came her way. I had lost and regained the ability to walk, lost both my grandmothers, of which who had raised me. My father passed shortly after, and I had forgiven him for the past and got a chance to bond with him. And a very good friend of mine was murdered at a very young age. Resilience is my middle name. I felt knocked down again and again, but I emerged from this period in my life with many lessons, counting my blessings more than ever. What could break a person down to the ground ended up making me a much better equipped human being. At that time, I did not know that afterward I will recall repeatedly this time of my life for strength, reminding myself that I had been through much worse, lost more than anyone should. I am a courageous woman and I found strength during the storm. So,
But you know what? I know the piece about your grandmother.
mhm,
And I know that's a very sentimental. and dear peace to you.
Yes.
With your grandmama and your granddaddy. I
Yes.
know. But the title of your book is Learning the Walk the Walk.
Mhm.
So I want you, people, some people have grandmothers, I don't have one. But what I want you to do is love on your family, whoever you have. That's number one. Because learning to walk the walk really came from the strength of your grandmother.
Absolutely.
Because I'm very in tune with all my authors. I know that, but there's something that happened. You may think that she probably was over the top, but something happened on her birthday this year. This year. And that was wearing her high heel shoes. But a couple years ago, she couldn't do that. So the title of her book is Learn to Walk the Walk, but she's paying the homage to her grandmother because her grandmother has told her and showed her, and she lived it in front of her, of learning how to walk the walk. So tell them why you titled the book Learning to Walk the Walk and what happened on your birthday.
Well, and it's funny because my birthday just passed.
Right.
Yeah, this is 19 years that I've lived with this, but I have multiple sclerosis.
I say it again.
Multiple sclerosis, short
Hmm.
form MS. And my very first attack of MS caused me to go from having two numb toes on a Thursday to being in a wheelchair by that Monday. I was admitted to the hospital, and um, this book details what I went through during that time. Not just the hospitalization and the MS, but everything that was raining down upon me on top of that during that time. And I got lesson on top of lesson from some of the most unlikely resources and people, um, snippets and tidbits that I still use today. And because of that, that's why I titled it Learning to Walk to the Walk, because I feel like both mentally and physically, I was learning to walk the walk of life.
Yes,
Um,
that part.
and you know, I say I specialize in overcoming things. There's so many things that I could write about. This particular thing is something that is, as of yet, uncurable, something that has come back to attack me many times over the years. I am in so much better condition than I could be. Um, I try my best to take care of myself.
Yes.
I'm thankful, you
Yeah.
know, and that is why I wrote about this, because something that's going on in somebody's life that seems like it is the absolute worst thing in the world, it can end up being the absolute best thing that ever happened to you.
Yes. Yes.
So I want to give hope,
Yes.
because, like I said, I'm walking with something that can come revisit. If it does, I feel like I've gathered many tools.
Yes.
I'll be okay.
You'll be okay. Well, tell them how they can find you. If you need your hair done in the Bay Area, tell them how they can get the book. So just go ahead and get them all that information.
Okay, well, so you can find me on Instagram at Bay Area underscore hair boss 2.0. And you can find me on Facebook at Kimia Hicks, Kim, excuse me, Kimiyya, last name Hicks, Hicks. Um, Also, not currently, but within probably the next 2 weeks, because I had to fight to get this back. It was a mess. But KimiyyaHicks.com is my personal website. Um, I had a whole ordeal getting that back. I don't know what happened, but with all this cyber stuff going on, but I was able to retrieve it. It
Yeah.
is mine, and so it will be up and running. So if you want to purchase the book from me, inbox me on Facebook, inbox me on Instagram, or in a couple weeks you'll be able to go straight to my website and purchase the book. Also, if you purchase the book from me, I did this beautiful book. I did also create a lovely matching pen to
Yes.
go with it because this book has more features than you think. It
Yes.
also has a journaling aspect. So at the end of each story, there's a couple pages that you can write in. That's very valuable. You can reflect, take notes, whatever. And I figure what better than to give you a nice pen to do it with. So
A
I
matching
have
pen.
these, and I will have these on hand for anybody who purchases from me. So thank you guys.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I know I had something special for you, but because I know she's been under the weather, I'm gonna hold off on to that, and then I'm gonna go to the next person.
Okay.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Wow, this has been really been powerful, wonderful, and we're going to our last author again. Find everybody's book, their page, their Instagram, their Facebook page, and please go and support them. You think we just be writing this stuff, just be writing this stuff? No, we writing this stuff to free you. So when that happens, then I'm bringing up, if you can take yourself off of mute, Miss Rosie Hayes. Hey, 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 hey.
Hey, 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 hey. Good evening. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, everyone. And I just want to say, Rosie, we were going to we'll just do a little bit of talk about you and I at the end. We won't go into the story, so we can go on to Instagram. But Rosie has been the one to work with me for a few years, but the timing, it just didn't happen. I mean, that's life. The timing just didn't happen. But what we do know that God's timing is everything, right, Rosie?
Yes, it's
God's
perfect.
timing
His
is
timing
perfect.
is perfect. Yes.
And the title of her chapter is Preserve for Purpose. Preserve for Purpose. And I can't even say, I'm just going to let you take it because it's so powerful. I'm just going to let you take it because when I start talking about you, I get so full on everybody, but you've been through some things.
Yes. And indeed, the Lord will pull you through some things if you can stand the squeeze. Indeed, He will pull you through if you can stand the squeeze. The title of my chapter, again, as Dr. Missy has said, is Preserved for His Purpose. What you see today, and as you look upon me and listen to my voice, this is all because of the love of God, because His purpose has been a preservative in my life. If it was not for the purposes of God in my life, I would have no other reason to live. I only live because of purpose. And I'm serving in His purpose right now as I speak to you. So my subtitle to my book was Preserved for Purpose, A Life Redeemed from Destruction. Because this is exactly the power of God and what He did in my life. He has preserved me from destruction. And so I'll just read an excerpt from my chapter. Wow, even when I read it myself, I just get full.
You still here, baby?
Yes, I'm still here by the grace of God.
Yes.
So, oh boy. Okay. At the time, I was a crack addict, caught in the grips of
Wait a minute. You was what?
I was a crack addict.
You mean like crack
cocaine?
Crack ain't what? Crack ain't what?
Yes.
That kind of crack.
Crack cocaine.
Okay,
Yes,
did y'all hear that? Wait a minute. And in what? You was in church?
Yes.
In church.
I love the Lord at 12 years old, but I went astray. But nevertheless, His love never fails. So at the time, I was a crack addict, caught in the grips of an active addiction. Nothing mattered more to me than getting my next fix and finding the ways and the means to get more. Little did I know on this day I would get much more than what I was looking for. Cocaine gave me the feeling that I could handle whatever situation might develop. So unbothered, I moved forward with the plan, which was to get high and have a good time. He introduced himself as Clarence, and we sat down at the small dinette table. He placed the 8-ball of cocaine on a mirror, and using a silver straight blade with precision, he cut through the hard white rock and placed a large stone on the glass pipe for our smoking pleasure. Taking turns, we both inhaled long draws of the thick white cloud of smoke into our lungs. It was up on the exhale, just when the euphoria began, that all hell broke loose, literally. What happened next would shake me to the core of my soul and cause the trajectory of my life to change. It would be the beginning of the end of my career of active addiction and prostitution.
Wait a minute. We're going to stop right there. We're going to stop right there because they got to get the book. But it's 3 things I heard. I heard crack cocaine. I heard crack, cocaine, addiction, and prostitution.
Yes.
What's the title of your chapter?
Preserved for his purpose.
Wow. See, me and Rosie, we church girls. And people be thinking that we don't get attacked. Or we la 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 and fa la 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 la. Or we fa la 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 lying, okay? We fa la lying.
That part.
And just for Rosie to be here, how long were you addicted?
This chapter of my life is when I was first into active addiction, but I struggled with the disease of addiction for 30 years.
And you still here?
And I'm still here.
So
by the grace of God.
So let me ask you this. Do you think that people can overcome addiction?
Yes, I do.
Yes,
I'm a witness.
Okay, there it is.
I'm a witness. Yeah, it's, the disease of addiction, as I wrote in my book, the disease of addiction is savage, but Jesus Christ is Savior.
Come on.
And I want to encourage those that are going through the disease of addiction right now. Don't let the disease of addiction define you. God loves you. He is able, even if you struggle. I'll never forget being in ministry and yet struggling.
Wait a minute, you was in ministry?
Yeah.
What you mean the ministry? I don't know
what that ministry, full-time ministry.
You mean
and
like
after many years of being clean, I had a season of lapse.
Come on.
But God, a struggle. I'll never forget a man of God. He told me, says, Rosie, God will never judge a struggle, but a lifestyle he will.
Oh, wait a minute. Say that again.
He'll never judge a struggle, but a lifestyle he will. The disease of addiction, I'll say it again, it's savage, but Christ Jesus is Savior. Wow. And his love never fails. For me, his love never failed. Everything about me, and I don't say this to be vain. My looks have been preserved.
Yes.
Because of what I've gone through, I'm not supposed to look like this. But his purpose has preserved even my looks. And he told me that when people look upon me, they will know that he loves me, that his hand is with me, that he was preserved, that I have been preserved for his purpose, that I'm able to speak in sentences, that I am not cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs right now.
Come on.
This is the grace of God. This is the eternal love of God. Nothing can separate you from his love. However, there are things that you have to put in place. There are things that you have to put in place. And it's nothing against Jesus Christ. He is the final authority. His word is the final authority. But I had to go further. I have a psychiatrist. I have a therapist. I attend meetings along with prayer and fasting and worship.
And you say,
and I'm still saved, and I still preach the gospel, and I still speak for the Lord by his grace. And that's another thing we have to be. If you are struggling, even if in ministry, and I want to speak to the families that may be struggling with a loved one that is addicted, because I understand that the disease of addiction, when you have a family that loves you, it becomes a family disease. It becomes a family problem, because that mother, that father, that brother, that sister, those children, they are impacted by the trauma of our disease. I want to tell you this.
We're going to stop right there, because they got it. They got to get the book. This book, Fearless Women Rock, Courageous Women Find Strength During the Storm, it's just not pages. It's life stories that comes off the pages. When you read this book, my team is bad. When you read these stories, when you talk about Nikita's story, the mental health, dealing with her mama, her daddy, Ebony, are you her mother? People be having identity issues because they don't know who their mama or their daddy is. We talk about, Kimmy, when she had to learn how to walk again. We talk about Lisa, she doing this multi-million-dollar company, but yes, she got 6 figures, but she couldn't find the balance until God gave her a master plan, a formula. It's just so powerful. When people come to me, I'll be interviewing them like they get food stamps.
Yes.
I don't be playing, and they can really, really tell you, because I want the stories to come off the pages. I want the story to be authentic. I want the story to be real. And I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna bring all the authors back in, so we can say goodbye. So we go on to Instagram. I just have to say this about Rosie. Me and Rosie, she didn't want to write about this. I said, Rosie, and I listen to the voice of the Lord, but I am not so heavily bound that I'm not no earthly good, so don't get it twisted. And I said, the Spirit came to me. I ain't say God. I said, but the Spirit came to me, and I hear what you're saying, and she's gonna tell you what she does, and I know what you do. I know what she's overcome. But in the society that we're dealing in right now, there's suicide, there's depression. I don't know what COVID unleashed. I ain't saying it came from China. I'm not saying where it came from, but what I am saying, that it unleashed something in the atmosphere and in the environment, that having people just going all kind of ways, don't know who to go to, don't know who to trust, don't know who to talk to. But one thing that has really, really just increased is suicide, depression, and addiction.
Yes.
And they give the money to everybody else, but they're not putting the money on where it's needed. So and you'll see why I'm saying this. So Rosie has something that she's chairperson of and everything. But I said, Rosie, I think you need to write about addiction.
Yes. And I am so happy.
But wait a minute. But because she's not happy, she was resistant.
I was ashamed.
That's it.
I was ashamed, and the Lord dealt with me. He said,
wait, and I said, I don't want to offend your husband.
Yes.
I don't want to offend your family.
Yes.
Because people will come for you.
Yes. Yes, they will.
And I want you to really think about this. And I told her, I want your voice to be told. And she came to me and she said, I asked her, I said, were you ashamed? I said, you ain't got to do it. But I said, but I believe that you're going to set so many people free, because let me bring all the authors while we're about to close out. I said, you're going to help so many people to become free, because they're not talking about addiction. Nikita, they're not talking about mental health. They're not talking about people who have an ancestries finding their mama and their daddy because their mama and daddy never told them. They're not talking about MS. They're not talking about, and I really commend Lisa. I really commend her because I just want to salute you because who handles a multi-million-dollar company where the financial gurus come to you, but your empire crumbling? I want to commend you for that because people don't talk about that. So I just want to let my authors know tonight that y'all said some. If ain't nobody got free tonight, I don't know. That's all I'm saying. For Nikita to sit up here, and her mama mental, her daddy on drugs, but yet in her heart, she found the power to forgive him.
Yes.
Who
Woo.
does that?
Yes.
That ain't, when you talk about Ebony, don't get it twisted, she said. Them her words. She my mama.
Yes.
She my mama. So don't go on tell people saying that Dr. Missy had Ebony on here saying that was her mother. That's a lie. It's straight from hell, and the devil is gonna get you for lying.
Yes.
Because she said that's her mama. But she had an epiphany. And you got to find out in the book. You got to get the book from Ebony. She had an epiphany that brought all the pieces together. Then you have a young lady, her toes just happened to get numb. She grown, having the time of her life. And 2 days later, she in the hospital, can't walk, and have multiple deaths that y'all gonna find out in the book. But she had to reframe her mindset from an unusual suspect. Am I right, Kimmy?
Yeah.
From an unusual suspect that you would never, ever guess. And it wasn't the doctors, but you got to get the book to read it. And then you got Rosie. 30 years. I told her, I said, it's your title. I said, but save and addicted is what I told her. Because there's so many folks in the church that save and addicted.
Yes.
They might be addicted to porn. They might be addicted to sex. They might be somebody else's husband. They might be addicted to lies, up in the pool,
gambling, eating. Yes.
They giving you scriptures. They ain't even living right. But then you have Rosie who comes on and say, I was saved, brought up, accepted Christ at 12 years old. She strayed away, got addicted, crack, cocaine, prostitution, and what she was going to talk on, Rosie, tell them what you do, and then tell them how they can get the book about the H,
Yes. Another part of my story is that I am also a HIV ambassador. Been living positive for almost 3 decades. And that was the story in the chapter of my life that I wanted to share about, because it appears that my victory was there and my failure was in the addiction because of the struggle. So, and it was the shame and the stigma that's attached to it. I never experienced stigma from HIV like I did being on crack. So I felt more successful living a life of HIV than I did with living my life struggling with a drug addiction. But God,
pull that out too, because society, what people don't know, it's a lot of folks out here addicted.
Yes,
and they're going to 9 to 5.
Yes,
it might,
they're in the church preaching the gospel.
Yes.
Yes.
I ain't calling no names because I don't know nobody, so don't say Dr. Missy said it. But I'm just telling you that is true. And the suicide rate is at an alarming rate.
Yes.
So when we talk about Fearless Women Rock, Courageous Women Found Strength During the Storm, we are a sisterhood. This is the special edition. Each of these ladies are special to me because, and guess what? I was going to talk about my chapter, but my chapter don't even matter because, well, it does matter, but yes, I want you to make sure that you got these ladies' books. So Rosie, I'm going to go through everybody, then we're going to get off. I know we're running late for Instagram, but that's okay because I want you, Rosie, Lisa, Kimmy, Nikita, and Ebony. I want you to tell them again how to get your book and how has this journey, this experience been working with me. So, Rosie, we're going to start with you.
Well, you can get my book from my Facebook page, Rosie Hayes. Also, my Instagram page, Wait, That's Rosie. I have
Rosie,
a QR code.
Because there's different ways to spell Rosie.
Okay. ROSIEHAYES. And I have my QR code up on my page for you to purchase the book. It's Zelle. My QR code is a Zelle link. And I only accept Zelle at this time. It's the safest thing for me. So that's how you can purchase the book. And working with Dr. Missy has been utterly amazing. It has been God ordained. The things that she was able to pull, God used her to pull out of us. And here I am, literally, the title of this book, Courageous Women Find Strength During a Storm. I'm in Florida. When it was time for us to do our photo shoot and do everything, I was in the middle, literally, of Hurricane Ian. I didn't think that I was going to be able to make it. And the Lord told me, he says, Rosie, do you think that I will bring you this far to leave you?
Come on.
He said, you're going to go through the storm and I'm going to be with you. You're going to birth this book in the storm.
Yes.
When you birthing in a storm,
in a real storm.
In a real storm, literally.
Wow.
It has been amazing. God's hand is on it. I'm always watching for God in the details. He has been in the details of this book from beginning to now. And I give him glory.
Is a HIV chairperson in Miami.
Yes.
Tell them about that piece.
Yes, I'm an HIV ambassador. Also, I'm a certified speaker locally, statewide, and nationally. I work as a consultant for Positive People Network, and I do testing and counseling. I'm also, that's one of the things I do, but I'm also certified in substance abuse. I also help to intervene, help people get into treatment, help people get their family members into treatment through intervention.
Wow. Well, thank you. Lisa T.
Good evening, everyone. Again, I'll be real short and brief because Rosie I'm telling you all, she got me full over here. My sister got me full. But my book the book can be purchased on my webpage, which is lisathomaslewis.com. Once again, that's lisathomaslewis, all one word.com. I accept all forms of payment on my website. So if you like to go to my webpage, you will be able to purchase there. And one of the things I just want to piggyback off my sister Rosie and saying, we truly did come through a storm. We came through the remnants of Hurricane Ian. And let me tell you something, if you wasn't on here for the live when my sister Nikita spoke and said she brought us through the storm, baby, her and got us through the storm. And I'm talking about Hurricane Ian, the remnants of it. So if you all want to hear more about our stories, and let me tell you, you will be full. So get your box of tissue, because even tonight I had a box of tissue, because you all just don't know. Every time I go back and I read this book, and I've read it a couple of times.
Yes.
You know, Lisa going on. We can't hear her, but she's frozen. But guess what?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Each one of these authors.
I just want to look. The devil ain't getting no glory here tonight. Y'all going to get the book.
Get the book.
Hey, Lisa, how has your experience been working with me?
And the experience with working with Dr. Missy, let me tell you all, if you all don't know who Dr. Missy Johnson is, she is a producer for BET. She's a screenwriter, and it's nothing like working for her. I'm going to tell you something. Working with Dr. Missy Johnson, if you got a story to tell, you better hook up with Dr. Missy Johnson, because she'll bring it to life for you. She's going to pull it out of you.
She ain't even turn it into a movie.
Yes, she can turn it into a movie for you. So get ready, get ready, get ready. If you got a story to tell, he's the one that you need to seek out.
Oh, wow, wow. Thank you. Ebony, Ebony, Ebony.
Yes, yes, yes. So you can reach me, Ebony Hill, at Instagram at Daddy's45, or you can reach me by email at ELYNE, T as in Tom, T as in Tom, 76 at gmail.com. Other than that, that's pretty much all my communication is. But get the book. We're
Yeah.
excited.
And working
Let's
with
go.
me, Ebony. How was it? Because you was a little shocked.
Oh,
I was
it
like,
was-
girl, come on, come on.
It was great. I know. And I just had so much going on. So I was just trying to, but I got my focus and it's all done. So it was a wonderful experience though. And I love the ladies.
Thank
Love
you.
you guys.
Kimmy,
Yes.
come on now. Your book and working with me. How they can get in contact with you.
Okay. You can contact with me, everyone, at Bay Area _ Hair Boss 2.0 on Instagram, or you can get in contact with me on Facebook, and that is Kimia Hicks, KIMIYA Hicks, and that's on Facebook. And within the next couple of weeks, you'll also be able to go to KimiaHicks.com. That's being sorted out right now.
And working with me, baby doll.
Working with Dr.
I know you
Missy.
sick. I know you sick.
Yeah, girl.
But I release all of that. I release all that.
Yes.
Yeah, because but so working with Dr. Missy, it has been a nice experience. It has been a good process. The outcome has been very beautiful. The group of ladies she pulled together was wonderful. I feel like we gelled very nicely. I think everything went really well considering we did everything via phone, internet, Zoom, etc. Um, and for us, when we met up uh, for our photo shoot in DC, it it just kind of like sealed the deal. So that was like a really good thing. And she has an awesome team. And I have to say this because I have to say it because I said it so much. I really, really am afraid of professional makeup. And the
Ooh,
makeup
that's
artist that she
fun.
had on deck was actually, that was my most favorite. Sorry to anybody else who's ever done my makeup, but she had a good lady. And I wish I could took that lady and put her in my pocket
Yes.
and brought her back to California with me. So
Yes.
everything was really, really welcoming, and I felt very comfortable. And when everything was said and done, it was hard to tell where her vision was going, but if you just let her, in the end, you see it. And this special edition book is really beautiful.
It's beautiful, yeah. And Miss Nikita. Can you hear me, Nikita? Oh,
Yes, I
yeah.
can hear you. I'm sitting back here looking at my sisters basking
I
in their
know.
beauty.
Nikita. Whew.
And Kimmy, we come against that cold
Yes.
that you have.
Yes.
Yes.
We bind
dry
it in the
up.
name of Jesus.
Yes.
Yes.
So I just want to
dry
say that you can reach me. I am a life and business coach. My website is corevisioncoaching.com.
Can you spell it? Yeah, I was
COR
gonna say, can you spell it out?
coaching.
Yeah.
COR no E visioncoaching.com, and you will see my book. I'm also in the process of creating a group for female entrepreneurs. It is coming. It is going to be called the Female Business Sanctuary. So it's a place for us to develop, to talk about issues that we're having as female entrepreneurs. So please get in touch with me if you're interested in being a part of the Female Business Sanctuary. Finally, working with Dr. Missy, as I said before, it was a terrific experience. It was very professional. And you can tell a lot about people based on their team. and the people that they run with. And when I tell
Yes.
you, everybody that was connected to this experience was so good.
Yes.
Kimmy wants to talk about the makeup artist. Well, I want to talk about that photographer, Miss Jackie.
Yes.
Miss Jackie was so intimidating. Miss Jackie
But
was
I
so
told you, I
intimidating
warned
to
you.
me at first.
Yes.
Yes, she was like, because she started us off and she was like, look, whatever you came in here with, I want y'all to let it go. I want y'all to drop it here. I want you to bring out your sexy. I want you to bring out your identity. I want you to be full class. And when she said that, I put that smile on and I got a picture that a remarkable picture. Okay.
Yeah.
And I've had my husband's a photographer. I hope he ain't listening. But that lady, she was awesome. And she does for celebrities and all kinds of things. So
Yeah.
Dr. Missy was exceptional. This is something that I always wanted to do, but I never felt I just never felt the right spirit. And I had a lot of people asking me, and I always knew that if I were to do it, I was going to do it with her.
Thank you. And what about y'all? And as we close out, thank you. I'm gonna say thank you to my team, to Gabby, my publishing team, my makeup team, my personal stylist, and my graphic team, because y'all see my face, but it's really so many other people behind the scenes that keep me together. And I just want to thank you for all the authors for Fearless Women Rock 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 coming up. I said I'm just gonna drop a little thing. We're going to Dubai in 2023. They know, but we're going to be putting it out later. So anybody who wants to get on board, we'll get all the information. But Fearless Women Rock 2023 is going to Dubai, so we're so excited about that. And I just want you to also remember, even at the holiday seasons, there's a lot of people don't have their mother, don't have their father, that are alone, that's going through things. And I just want to impress upon you that find somebody who you can talk to, but they gonna tell your business. Be fearless, be courageous, trust God, pray. And I really just lean towards Rosie because the addiction and the mental health that Nikita talk about is so freaking real. It's so, just look at Twitch. We don't know what the circumstance was. We don't know what happened. Wearing a smile on your face, but a frown turned upside down. You just never know what nobody go through. And the thing that keeps me, people saying, Dr. Missy, you so confident, you so fearless, you so crazy, you all this. But guess what? Sometimes I got a frown on the inside too. Sometimes I wear a smile, but a frown upside down. But y'all just don't know, because don't nobody want to be on no pity party. That's why I am fearless, because of my faith. It's God that has kept me. It's God that's keeping me. Yes, there are things that's going on in everybody's lives. You all see us with a smile on our face. We wrote about our story, Courageous Women Fighting During the Storm, but it doesn't mean that we don't have no more. Don't mean that we don't have no more storms.
Right.
It don't mean that. But because of the love of God that we have, because of our belief and because of our faith, and because of the Fearless Women Rock Sisterhood, when we all came together, as we came out of that storm, we were so freaking exhausted that when I say exhausted, we were so exhausted. I can't even explain. You had to be in the room, but it was so beautiful. Everybody was trying to find a flight to cancel and get another flight because we never wanted. Have you ever been to a place where you never want to leave nobody? We never wanted to leave each other because the love was so strong. The authenticity was so strong. That's what the Fearless Women Rock Sisterhood is. So if you want to be an author in Volume 5 coming up, please send me a DM. Ask Dr. Missy. I'm Ask Dr. Missy all over the place. And I invite you. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I interview people. I interview like you getting food stamps, WIC. That's how I interview you. I take it all the way down to the wire because I got to check out everything about you. Because some people that come to you, they be all in their stuff, but they ain't over their stuff. They be in their stuff, but they ain't over their stuff. And if you still in it, you may be in it, but you ain't over it. I ain't for you. I'm not the coach for you. I'm not the writer for you. Yes, I am writing more movies. I got more movies coming out. That I'm writing, script writing. I'm doing it all. I'm building empire. Don't let anybody take you off your square, okay? If you want to write, speak, coach, do it. And all these ladies on here, they don't speak for free. They don't. They speak for a fee, FEE. They do not speak for free. The free is over with. They don't even give out free French fries no more. The Happy Meals that went up from $1 to $1.59, $1.69. So ain't no more free. If you want a free, I'll give you a checklist. Check it off. But if you want me to come speak to you, you want them to come speak to you, get your credit card, I'll get your Zelle card, I'll, whatever you get. And if you're getting the book for $25, that is a little bit of what we deposit in your spirit today. Because we're all about transformation, not just information, but transformation. I'm going to leave you with something, and then we're going to go off. And ladies, I will see you on Instagram. Get ready, get ready, get ready. It's your time to tell your story. Baby, you ain't by yourself. The world needs to hear your story. Your voice is important. Someone's waiting on you. You are not alone. You're not by yourself. I used to think that way, but I no longer think that way. God has allowed me to be a Fearless Women Rock, where we show you how to get to the story, get to the stage, and get to the screen so the world can hear your story. Write your book. I didn't get here by myself. I got here because you prayed for me, and I'm going to pray for you. I'm going to hold your hand, build your confidence, and show you that the world needs to hear your story. Join me, Dr. Missy Johnson, Fearless Women Rock. It's your time to tell your story. Well, well, well. There it is. I help women write books that sell. I help women write stories that sell. Meet us on Instagram. Tell somebody on Instagram. We're going over there. I'm gonna let them get a drink of water. We ain't gonna make Instagram long. I'm gonna bring on 2 or 3 at a time. But thank you for your time. Have a happy holiday, happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, and happy Kwanzaa. And we love you. Fearless Women Rock Special Edition, Volume 4. Volume 4. Love you all. Bye-bye.
Happy holidays.
Happy
Happy
holidays.
Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays.